All right, everybody. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Just an FYI, we are recording this call and we'll post it later to YouTube. So anyone who joins or wants to watch later can catch up. Hello and welcome to our 5th Protocol Work Group call. My name is Maxwell. I'm a community manager in developer relations here working at DevHub. I'm excited to take a look at a new protocol NEP and come to a decision about it. So here's our agenda. First, we'll discuss the objective of this call and provide a little bit of context about the near developer ecosystem and the NEP process. Then we'll introduce the participants and go into the main discussion of our NEP, which today is NEP 492, a proposal to restrict Ethereum addresses on near. And afterwards, we'll open it up to Q&A and talk about next steps. So today we'll be using Google Meet. Later on in the call, if you have questions or you want to chat, you can raise your hands. And I suppose if people want to introduce themselves in the chat, you can do so as well. Just your name and what your affiliation is, I suppose, in the near ecosystem. All right, so to get started, let's discuss the purpose of today's call. We're here to publicly vote and arrive on a decision on NEP 492, which is a proposal to restrict Ethereum addresses from being created as near accounts. We're also here to celebrate the time and effort that people invested into this NEP, and as it went through a rigorous review by the community and subject matter experts who care about making our ecosystem better. So before we jump in, we'll give a little background on the NEP process and kind of the near developer community and protocol improvement standards. Just some context about DevHub. DevHub is our new initiative to decentralize NEAR's development. We bring together individuals and organizations to help build a more decentralized developer core for the NEAR ecosystem, be that the protocol, be that boss, etc. And we provide social structure and tools to empower anybody to contribute to NEAR, from submitting ideas to implementing code. So today, the main tool for interfacing with DevHub is through neardevhub.org. We have various communities of people interested in specific topics. For example, this is the protocol community group, or well, work group in this case. And this is also a great place to meet with like-minded individuals to brainstorm, to propose ideas, or to get access to technical support and funding. So in addition to these informal community groups, we also have these formal work groups who help make decisions in various ecosystem areas, such as protocol, contract standards. These groups have selected and recognized experts who engage with the community and help review proposals in a fair and timely manner. So for example, we make decisions on technical proposals that you may want to get integrated across the ecosystem, such as, in this case, an update to the protocol standard on what is allowed to be an account name. You can submit an idea for a technical proposal using an NEP, a near enhancement proposal, and it allows anybody to propose an idea to the ecosystem. When a new NEP is submitted, the relevant work group will help review it and move it forward through our formal NEP process. In terms of participants, we have these roles and responsibilities within the NEP process. We have the author, who writes and presents the proposal, the moderator, who does things like review the proposal, move the discussion along, and facilitate this call. We have reviewers who review the NEP and provide technical expertise. And then we have this work group, which votes and provides the final decision on the outcome of that NEP. And just to visualize this process, every NEP goes through a draft process, a review process, and then we will take it to the work group for voting, at which point it will either get approved or rejected. Most of this activity happens asynchronously within GitHub, but when we get to the voting stage, the work group has an open public call, such as this one, to arrive at the best decision in a transparent way. All right. So before we jump into the actual NEP, let me highlight the participants who are involved. For NEP 492, we have Bowen, who was the author of this proposal and also a member of the protocol work group, but he will not be voting in this case. Myself, who is facilitating this call, and our reviewers are also from the protocol work group. We have Michael and Marcelo, who in this case, did the reviewing for this NEP. And then finally, we have our, whoops, that's mislabeled, but that is the protocol work group that is going to come to the final decision. And so let's jump into the actual NEP. So first, I'm going to ask Bowen to present the NEP and why you believe it's important. And from there, we'll have the work group discuss the findings and ultimately get to the final decision. So Bowen, if you'd like to take it away.
Yeah, sounds good. So initially, the proposal is to restrict the creation of valid Ethereum addresses on NEAR. That was to basically prevent both people from like scamming other people into like depositing tokens into the like what looks like a valid Ethereum address on NEAR, and also some like user might mistake when they withdraw from exchanges and so on when they're careless about selecting the destination address. But then as some of the reviewers pointed out, we don't have to special case this Ethereum address, and maybe it makes more sense to restrict the creation of top level accounts altogether. Yeah, indeed, there was the reason why top level accounts longer than 32 characters were allowed to be created by anyone in the first place was just purely some kind of oversight, I believe, and there wasn't really a good reason why that is the case. And so basically, the proposal is changed to restricting creation of top-level account unless it is implicit account, which is 34 characters long. Yep. So basically, that is the proposal as is right now. And it will also enable certain integrations with Ethereum wallets in the future if we figure out how to do it. But I mean, that's obviously outside of the scope of this this proposal. And also there is this question of what do we do with existing Ethereum addresses that are created on NEAR. I think there are about 5,000 of them. Yeah, those are outside of the scope of this proposal, and the purpose of the proposal is to basically limit the account creation so that such addresses cannot be further created. So at least we have mitigation to the problem right now, and then we can figure out what to do with the existing address later.
All right, cool. I think Marcin, you wanted to talk through the considerations or the concerns?
Yes. So basically, the three concerns I have is that in this case, this means that the creation of non-implicit accounts now is fully controlled by register, right? And if I understand correctly, this is permissioned in some vague way.
Yeah, but that only applies to non-implicit accounts, or rather like explicit account, and it's already the case for top-level accounts that are less than 32 characters long. So this is extended to 63 characters, I guess.
Right, but now we're kind of turning it on for like all the length, and this combined with the fact that .near pop domain register is also controlled by, I guess, Near Foundation, I don't know, means that technically there could be censorship when it comes to creating new names, right? So I think that with this, we are losing a little bit of decentralization or independence.
Or you can always create an implicit account, right?
Yes, but you kind of lose the implicit accounts always work, yes. But when you actually want to have some named accounts, and going forward, one of the selling points of Near are exactly these named accounts, right? Most people will not be trusting implicit accounts for like high value things. With this, this is more of a kind of separate question of like who, but both the bottom register, like the main register, and the .near register is kind of controlled by the same groups.
I don't. So the Near account is actually it's controlled by a smart contract that anyone can call to create accounts. So it is not controlled by a single entity, right?
It's not locked, right?
Well, that I'm not sure. We can check.
I checked before the meeting, and then from what I've seen. So again, this is like, to be fair, that's why I said that I would vote still yes, because the risks of people kind of creating Ethereum-like looking addresses and getting people in this is like a far higher risk. So yes, I still think that we should go forward with this, but still kind of this is my concern that, we're doing a step towards a little bit less decentralization when it comes at least to implicit naming.
Yeah, that's very fair. I think we should figure out how to do top-level account auction.
Yes, and because that's what was written in the white paper in the past, that we're going to do this, but I didn't see this at least publicly anywhere. The second small thing I would like us to add here, okay, what we do with these addresses might be outside of the scope of the NEP, but do we know how much value was in these addresses?
I mean, no, not at this point, but we can, aggregate the data. I don't believe there's a lot of value right now.
Because one thing that we might consider doing is in Explorer, we should post a warning when someone visits one of these addresses, stating clearly that while this address looks like Ethereum address, it might not be controlled. We can actually check if it's controlled by the person who was owning this. But we let's do add a warning, because 5K addresses being there means that they could be still used for malicious purposes, even if people cannot create new ones.
That's fair. Yeah. Especially the zero, the like 0x000, like the burning address on ETH is actually created on near, and I believe it is created for the purpose of scamming people.
Yes. And then and the last but not least, I think that there will be a question of like how we name this NAP, because in this case we're not only restricting Ethereum addresses, we're restricting the top level creation.
Should be renamed. That's
I mean, Ethereum is the reason why we're doing it, but this will be a little bit cleaner when you look for the history of NAP names. Yeah, and I think these are all my concerns. Thank you.
One small comment, also with regard to first point by Marcin, is that the main reason I propose not extending this not only for Ethereum accounts is because this was proposed to be done on the protocol level, but maybe we can have the initial proposal implemented in the register.near rather than at the protocol itself. So that way we have like the initial proposal, but with the benefits of before benefits, like protocol doesn't need to be aware of this. No.
Marcel, can you explain? I didn't get what you meant.
Yeah, sorry. I kind of was saying it too complicated. So basically, we leave this NEP as is and we pass it. But then on the register account, like the register is actually a contract.
No. Right now it's not a contract. Right now it is just a regular account.
Oh, I see.
Only near is a smart contract.
But near can create top-level accounts?
No, near cannot. The registrar account is just called registrar.
Interesting. Well, anyway, proposal still makes sense. Like we could deploy a smart contract to register if that makes sense, and then register could have this logic of like, do not create Ethereum accounts or do not create this other type of accounts. So the thing is like, let's move it away from the protocol itself. That's not the kind of complexity we want to have there. But
no, but that's not a problem. The problem is that right now anyone can create it's not it's not that you want to limit the permission of registrar. Right now it's more that anyone can create top level accounts that are longer than 32 characters. So by restricting the capability of registrar, it doesn't help.
Well, what I mean is that everyone can interact with the registrar and let registrar create an account for themselves.
Right, but the problem is that they can also bypass that. Right now, like it is allowed that they bypass that and directly create top-level accounts.
Oh, no. I mean, let's pass this NEP.
Like, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, so you basically you don't also okay. So it's like a improvement to how the registrar account works. Yeah, that's.
So we can have like decentralized account creation. We can have be in the state that we were before, but having this hack implementation in the register, like in the smart contract, rather than in the protocol itself. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
actually,
I can add that as like a future possibility.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I guess everybody with their various points and concerns right now, does anybody want to summarize this as like a GitHub comment or anything like that? Just so this is all documented and people can revisit it in the proposal afterwards? Because I didn't really see a lot of these points when I was checking out the page. It would be really nice to have this documented. No volunteers? Well, anyway. Volunteer someone? Well, Marcin, you had all those concerns, right? Would you mind writing those up to the GitHub page? Okay. All right, I'll take the thumbs up as a yes. All right. All right, so moving ahead in our process, we need, since this is a 4-person work group, but Bowen is the author, he's unable to vote on this proposal, so we need a 2/3 majority to move forward this NEP. We've already had each work group member give their voting indication on the NEP itself, and here is a summary. We see the yes, but it seems as if we are going to approve with 3 out of 3 thumbs ups. So I guess these are the next steps. Bowen, do you want to say anything here?
Yeah, the implementation is basically ready. I mean, it's a fairly small change, and then we need to obviously merge the implementation and then stabilize the feature. But I guess, yeah, also given what what we just discussed, I also update the NAP to include what we discussed here today, including some of the future possibilities and what we can do to in the future to improve account creation.
All right, sounds great. Well, thank you.
You're muted, Max.
Sorry, thank you. Just a huge shout out to our work group members and to the author of this NEP and all the participants in the discussion. Thank you so much. We're very excited to work together to decentralize the development of NEAR together. And I guess I want to open it up to the audience right now. And if anybody wants to chime in with some questions or discussions with the work group, because I know we have some other participants in this call. If anybody wants to raise a hand or just shout something out. Marcin?
So one meta comment. As this NEP was, let's call it like on the border of security, we should figure out how we can handle these things maybe a little bit more faster. Or like, again, you could say this is not a security issue on the other side. If someone's listening to this call, hello. By the time we deploy the fix, there might be like additional, 20,000 accounts being created because we might have given people these ideas what to do, right? And of course, there was the whole discussion on GitHub, whatnot. So just like more of a question to you, Max, of like, how do you plan to do these? Like, again, this is not a security issue. Be fair, folks. This is not like, oh my God, the protocol is broken. This would be handled separately. But with these NEPs that are like on the boundary, we should have some a little bit different procedure for that, in my opinion.
So maybe not quite highlighting things as much. Is that a big concern? Like, do we want to not post that part of the video? Is anybody really worried about that? Because I can just,
I mean, honestly, I'm not worried about this video. We already put this as an NEP. We made some publicity about it. It's fine. It's more about like, consider the whole process of someone who did not think about doing something like this. Now they had like at least a couple of weeks to figure out that, oh, something like this could be done. Whatnot. I still want to make sure that NEAR is transparent about the decisions we're making. It's just in this scenario, we could do at least the part of this voting, let's call this a little bit earlier, get the thing pushed into mainnet, and then have the the public discussion about why we did this.
Yeah, it is like an interesting point, and definitely something to consider. If there are like, I have to imagine that probably with major security updates, they would probably just, just charge ahead and then, document it later, right? I think that would be everybody's inclination, but it would be nice to have maybe a formal process for security concerns or something like that. Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. This is like on the boundary, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it when writing the proposal. Yeah, indeed, I think. I mean, it is not a security risk of the product itself. So that's kind of why we didn't treat it as a security issue, and rather, yeah, because we don't want to just like suddenly push a change into the protocol that change how account creation works, and that's also suboptimal. So, and I think the kind of rationale here is that yes, people can like create those accounts now, but it's not free, right? It's like people need to spend like money actually doing that, and it's not really. They don't really have like a clear way of benefiting from that. So it's yeah. So I thought about it and decided that yeah, it's probably okay. But indeed, if we want to think more about how to, yeah, indeed, I would like I think it would be nice if this process can be expedited, right? So I think that would definitely be nice.
Okay. No other questions? Anybody from the audience who dropped into this call? It's one of your few opportunities to get a hold of some protocol masterminds in the NEAR ecosystem.
I'll use the opportunity just to thank you guys, probably. Yeah, keep doing a great job. Interesting to see.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for all the work. All right, so I guess I'll move towards closing this out then. Oops. So once more, thank you to our author, to our subject matter experts, and to our work group members. And now I'm just going to do a little bit about highlighting some ways you can get involved in the NEAR developer ecosystem. So if you have a specific idea in mind, you can actually submit it today using DevHub. There's a little way to post ideas or solutions that you think should be brought up to the developer communities. Or you can find other communities to collaborate with and see who's there and who you can get support from. If you have a technical idea that you want to get integrated across the ecosystem, you can also work to submit your own NEP and post an idea on DevHub after you've submitted it on the GitHub. You can also view all the other upcoming NEPs or the things in need of review, the things that are being drafted. We keep a pretty complete list of everything, and you can go see it at this link right here. And finally, you can join the community Telegram group. We have a Telegram group for this community group. We have one for contract standards, for tooling. We have one for BOSS. Very interesting these days. But anyway, there's just a bunch of ways that you can get involved. So yeah, sign up and learn more about upcoming meetings. I'm actually not sure if we're still posting them to neardevgov.org, but we will have a community calendar on DevHub soon. So we'll post more announcements about that. It should be coming out pretty quickly, I think, but we're hoping to put things in a central place so that people can see what's coming up. And then, of course, you can follow our Twitter and Telegram channels at NEAR DevHub. And so yeah, we have a BOSS community call coming up next Tuesday, if anybody's interested in that. And we will be posting this recording to YouTube for people who want to review the call. And thank you so much, everybody, for attending. I think that's about it.
Thank you, Max, for moderating. That was great.